Me'ai Yavo Ezri Ezri Me'im Adonai Oseh Shamayim Va'aretz Esa Einai El Heharim Me'ai Yavo Ezri I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where, oh where does my help come from? I lift up my eyes to the mountains. Where, oh where does my help come from? You know my help, it comes from God who made heaven and earth. Esa Einai.
Yeah. Hey, Jordan. Yardane.
Oh, we got it.
What happened?
Hi, live folks. We should now have sound.
Yep.
This is why we sound check now.
That's fantastic.
There's a setting that was wrong, and Magical Kevin talked me through it.
Magical Kevin.
So let me do something.
All right. Shall I sing?
Are we live then?
Go ahead and give me some song.
All right. He named Mato the wrong key.
Yes. You're still live. We never stop being live.
What?
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, ידעי דעי, הנה מה טוב.
And you can hear well in the...
Give me some Rabbi talking.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim.
I think you sound good. We're gonna get
Okay.
Jordan on the comments and see if anybody who's watching is commenting.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael.
But don't put that one in your ear.
Eh?
Don't put that one in your ear.
I know, we're doing the
Can
other one.
somebody at home
I like that we've
please
gotten the habit
send us a
of
chat?
using the Mandel more.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Isn't it fun? Isn't it
used
fun to
feel
see
dirty
behind the
to me,
scenes?
But it's
Does
less
it?
so.
Can we want to go to the countdown clock now?
What's that?
We're gonna stop being live.
Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thanks, all you early birds. We appreciate you.
El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri Esa Enai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Shamayim va'aretz Esa Enai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo Ezri I lift up my eyes to the mountain. Where does my help come from? I lift up my eyes to the mountain. Where, oh, where does my help come from? You know my help, it comes from God who made heaven and earth. Esa Enai El Heharim Me'ayin Yavo
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I don't know how you're feeling, but we here at the temple are starting to get very, very excited to welcome people in. We've had some trial runs of services and gatherings, and in just 2 weeks, we are going to be able to be all together. So in the spirit of welcoming Shabbat and knowing that soon we'll be able to worship together in joy, we begin our service with these words, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha bo'u lefanav birnana, and that means serve God with joy, go before God with song.
Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, Olafana birnana, Lefana birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, Olafana birnana, Lefana birnana. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, Olafana birnana, Lefana birnana. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha, Olafana birnana, Lefana birnana.
Help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole, so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace. Martin Buber.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Let us welcome a Shabbat of peace and blessing with peace and blessing.
Shabbat nikabela v'chadodi v'rakalali kakala penei. Shabbat nikabela Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorah. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom u'mevorah. Arehu et Adonai Amevorah. Arehu et Adonai Amevorah. Baruch Adonai Haborah le'olam vaed. Baruch Adonai
You may be seated. We join together in our blessing for our gratitude for creation. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla, Adonai tzbaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha avta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu lemadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol ma'otecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anohi metavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam liot al yadecha v'chayu letotafot beineinecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha Laman tiskru vasitim et kol mitzvotai vitim kedoshim le'eloheichem ani Adonai Elohechem asher chotzeiti ethem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Amen.
Oh, breathe, said the wind.
How can I breathe at a time like this when the air is full of smoke of burning tires, burning lives?
Just breathe, the wind insisted.
Easy for you to say if the weight of injustice is not wrapped around your throat, cutting off all air.
I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe.
Don't tell me to be calm when there are so many reasons to be angry, so much cause for despair.
I didn't say to be calm. I said the wind. I said to breathe. We're going to need a lot of air to make the hurricane together.
Nora Tehilo Seth Nora Tehilo Seth Rauvanecha Okei Hayam Lifnei Moshe Zeheli Ahanu Ve'amru Adonai Lo Le'olam Va'ed Adonai Lo Le'olam Va'ed. Ashtiveinu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu L'Chayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Ashtiveinu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom Hamidenu Shoreinu L'Chayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Ashtiveinu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'hamidenu Shoreinu L'Chayim.
The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam Brit Olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat Lidorotam Brit Olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
You may rise.
Adonai sefatai tifta ufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei Avotenu, ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, v'Chanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imachot, u'Mevi Kula Livnei V'nechem, L'man Shemo Ba'achava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Metim atah Rav L'choshia, Morid Hatah, Machakel Chayim B'chesed, Mechayei Metim B'rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'rofei Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayei Memunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umito Melach, Melech Memid, Umakaye, Lishenei Afar, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye ha'metim. Atah kadosh v'shim ha'kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el ha'kadosh.
Holiness of Shabbat. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans.
Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred.
Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears.
Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality.
Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let us be a time to be stirred and spurred to action.
Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael Utefilatam Be'ahava tikabel Utefilatam Be'ahava tikabel Say Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael Utehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha Utehi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu Be'amcha Yisrael Baruch Atah Adonai Hamachazir Shechinato L'Tzion.
Gratitude. As civilization advances, the sense of wonder declines.
Such decline is an alarming symptom of our sense of mind.
Humankind will not perish for want of information, but only for want of appreciation.
The beginning of our happiness lies in the understanding that life without wonder is not worth living.
What we lack is not a will to believe, but a will to wonder.
Rabbi Abraham Joshua Herschel.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Nasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Nasim Leolam. Ki ata melech hador lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech hador lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. B'tov b'neinecha livarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
We turn our hearts and our prayers to all of those who are in need of God's healing presence in their lives, those broken in body, mind, and spirit. Please join us in the words of Misha Berach.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
From our congregational families, we pray for healing and wholeness for Chris Argall, Nancy Ash, Mindy Beller, Leah Bray, Chana Leah Bat Devora, Betty Cohen, Amy Cooper, Richard Eisen, Harvey Filer, Andrew Fisher, Dean Gavney, Jacob Gluckman, Roger Gluckman, Gabby Goldberg, Stuart Goodman, Tom Gosnell, Alicia Good, Ramesh Gupta, Bert Horwitz, Laurel M. Wally Jonas, Jean Nofel, Chris Kuntz, Michael Lidikin, Bill Rockamora, Bert Rothman, Jim Rudisil, Deborah Sanders, Julie Sherman, Deborah Silverstein, Shoshana Slatke, Matthew Treehub, Donna Wade, Bob Ward, Marlene Wexelblatt, and Carol Wenham, and these additional names from the chat.
Ann Logan, Hal Logan, Diana Kleinman, Vonda Stringfellow, Ron, Judy, David, and Mary, Ann Engel, Linda Levine, Naomi Pellegrino, Jane Ring, Jimmy Danner, Ivy, Gail Kielson, Penny and Paul Levy, Bo Farson, and Stan Tenen.
Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us say, Amen.
Please take a moment of silence.
The Amidah always concludes with the words, Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens make peace for us on all Israel, and let us say amen. And the setting we are singing tonight was written in 1969 by Nurit Hirsch, who was an Israeli who won third prize for her setting of Oseh Shalom. But I was born into a world with that Oseh Shalom, and it brings me and transports me to Israel every time. And certainly this evening when we think of healing the world, when we honor our committee who is devoted to healing the world, and all of our students, the B'nai Mitzvah students who are devoted to healing our world, we extend our thoughts and our prayers to Israel and its neighbors who are suffering, but who have chosen to pause. And hopefully, God will help make peace. Even in the heavens, God has to make peace, all the more so. We need peace right here. I offer these words of blessing for the state of Israel. Avinu Shabashamayim, Heavenly One, Protector of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. And establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Oh, say shalom imroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Hi, I'm Sam Housefather, the chair of the Lottie Meyerson Tikkun Olam Committee. We have the small task of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world. We do our best through our work on racial justice and anti-racism education, supporting the homeless, feeding those in need, immigrant and refugee support, preschool education, and advocacy for repairing our world. Our Tikkun Olam Shabbat happens thanks to the work of many committee members, including Vivian, Elaine and Bob, Cheryl and Ted, Hillary, Bev, and Rachel. We welcome others to join us in our Tikkun Olam work. I also want to recognize Marty Gillen for his hours of filming and editing. Thank you. It is so important and heartening for young people to understand and take action to repair the world we are leaving them. There seems to be a lot to repair in our world, and we feel we are in good hands with these young people's Tikkun Olam efforts. We appreciate the importance of our young adults staying involved in their Jewish moral lives to keep our values and religion intact in our land, and to have persisted through the ups and downs of this COVID year is particularly to be honored. Tonight we recognize our B'nai Mitzvah students for their Bar Mitzvah projects aimed at bettering our world. Each student will receive a beautifully designed Tikkun Olam certificate, along with a gift of Chai, $18, the gift of life or luck in Judaism. We'll now hear from each member of this year's B'nai Mitzvah class, talking about their project in groups of 4. Asher Ring, Noah Senzen, Asa Harris, Jonah Childs.
One of them was a children's village in Israel, which shelters kids 5 to 18 who have had traumatic pasts. And we built a playground for them because all they had was a blacktop with basketball hoops. Play is a very important thing to me. I've always loved recess and always loved the idea of getting outside and having a fun break, and those kids don't have the chance to do that. I felt great. I mean, I got to help other people do what I enjoy most. It really made me feel like I was making a difference in the world.
My B'nai Mitzvah project was, I raised some money for Make-A-Wish by I ran a marathon in different parts, and I had people sponsor me for each mile, kind of. So I raised about $1,000 for Make-A-Wish and stuff. Well, my sister has severe special needs and stuff, and a couple years ago, they gave her a wish and stuff, and we got a camper and whatever. And I just wanted to like give that to some other people who had that kind of thing going on.
My B'nai Mitzvah project was a clothing drive. We collected work clothes and certain types of clothes to give to other people who are in need. I think it's important for people to have the clothes that they need for certain types of work, because say if you're interviewing for a new job and you get that job but you don't have the clothes to do it, that would suck. So I think that it's important that people have clothes that they need. You know, it's important to think about others, and the act of giving is good because other people can get what they need and you'll feel good about yourself.
So my mitzvah project was, I went to homes for elder folks and I sang and played my guitar with songs with Seth. So I picked that project because Seth was already doing it and it felt like a good opportunity, and I really liked playing my guitar, and I also felt that it was a good opportunity to give the elder people something that they didn't normally get to experience. They definitely felt they were definitely having a good time when we were there. They felt happy, we were happy. It felt they definitely felt happy to see me, a younger person, there, which they don't often get to see.
Theo Magaratov, Abigail Cohen, Max Shantz, Asher Edelman.
My project was making a little library outside of my house, and the reason I picked it is because I think and also donating to a foundation in Asheville that gives books to kids who are less privileged. And the reason I picked it is I thought that reading is something that everybody should get to enjoy, not just people who can afford books.
Well, my project was to raise money through bake sales to get a swing for the playground, so people can like play on it, like people who might have like autism or don't do well with other people or might be in the wheelchair, so like they can have fun too. The reason why I picked it is because I know what it feels like to not be included because of something like a medical reason or like a stupid reason. And so I thought I would raise enough money so people who had a medical issue or just practically was like an introvert, so they can have fun too.
My mitzvah project was raising money for Manna Food Bank. Well, we knew that it was going to be important because just in the past 6 months over the pandemic, Manna distributed the same amount as in the past year. So we knew any difference we could make would help a lot in our community. Well, it felt really good knowing that I would have an impact on the community, and I guess some people's lives would be made easier because of what we could have done.
My bar mitzvah project was giving supplies to the homeless community because I notice a lot of homeless people just around Asheville, and I felt bad, I guess. We made small bags, and then we would, whenever we drive past someone or walk past them, we would just always have one in the car that we'd be able to give to them. I just felt happy being able to help people that needed it.
Alex Rawlings, Dagny Rockoff, Gabrielle Vautrin, Avery Ward.
So my project is basically down there. We have some seeds that I was growing, and they were for Native Americans, and they were endangered species of plants, and we ordered them from a society, and I wanted to help them in their land to get back to their promised land, just like the Israelites had themselves helped Well,
important to help people?
I think it's important to help people just because, I mean, people might not be in the same situation that you are, and you have to be empathetic and understand, and then you can figure out what their situation is, and maybe if you can, help them out.
My B'nai Mitzvah project was Food for Fairview. At my old elementary school, I would see Food for Fairview doing their can drive every day when I would be picked up from the carpool lane. And I've always had a sort of wanting to understand more about that. I hope to learn how to help people better, find other things that I can work on with both personal expertise and skills, and also helping find other things that I can do for my community.
My project was to have people go and talk about Jewish discrimination at my school. I picked that topic because in the past I've experienced a bit of Jewish discrimination for just doing nothing, and I know that they didn't understand and I didn't understand, so I think it's good to try to educate people, and I wanted them to be educated. I was hoping for people to be educated, and so they know more about this stuff, because the people at my school, they don't know anything about this.
My B'nai Mitzvah project was making care packages for the homeless that we distributed so that they can have different foods and necessities. I picked that project because lots of people don't have these kinds of things, and it would be good for them to have some food to carry while they travel, or something to brush their teeth with, or to help keep them clean. I felt that this would make a difference because these people would have something that would help them maybe not exactly get back on their feet, but it would help them through their journey. From doing this, I learned that doing a small, even as a big or small gesture like this can really make a difference for someone, and it can really make them happy.
Jackson Klibanoff, Sophie Gottschalk, Maya Resnick, Molly Green, Benjamin Bernstein.
So I'm working with an organization called Wild for Life, which mostly work with birds and rehabilitating them, and people will bring them in if they found them on their property or something injured. Well, I really knew I wanted to do something with animals, and specifically ones that had their habitat encroached upon, and that's what usually happens with these birds. It's not like, it's more that we're going into their area than they're coming into ours. Well, I'm learning a couple things. I'm learning about like how to take care of animals, but I'm also just learning like how to do deeds for others without having to be like paid back, just doing it for the good of the community.
Okay, so for my project, I decided to volunteer at Pisgah View Apartments, which is a low-income housing community in West Asheville. And there they have a math club, which meets every Monday. It's called the Marvelous Math Club. And it's a collaboration between Asheville City Schools and UNCA. So our very own Sam Kaplan is a professor of math at UNCA, and he is doing it in collaboration with a woman from Asheville City Schools who's a community outreach person, and she and him, they have a club, and about 30 kids come every Monday and do math games and do their homework and do reading skills, and it's just a really, really fun and safe space. And we do a lot of racial equity work and a lot of like leadership skills and communication skills and stuff like that. I wanted to do that because I love working with kids, and I loved feeling like I was helping my community and being a part of my community and strengthening that group there. And I love teaching other people about, our consistent work with racial equity, which I think the club really focuses on.
For my Bat Mitzvah project, I volunteered with the Marvelous Math Club, which is an organization run by UNC Asheville that supports elementary school age children with math. I picked it because I always have enjoyed math, and I also like teaching kids. I learned how to be patient and cooperate and teach differently than I'm used to being taught. I feel really good, and I feel like I made an impact on some of the kids that I worked with.
My B'nai Mitzvah project is that I'm doing a walk, an Alzheimer's walk, to honor my grandmother who recently passed away. I think it's good not only to honor her, but because I'm at risk, she's at risk to get Alzheimer's, and people all around the world having Alzheimer's, and I just know how bad it is to have that disease. I mean, we've really learned about just mitzvah, giving to other people, making things better for other people, and not just yourself.
Mazel tov to all our B'nai Mitzvah students, and thank you for your Tikkun Olam projects.
Well, it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you.
And I know you might have a heavy load,
but I can carry some too. I will lift you up when they push you down. I will raise my voice and stand my ground.
Well, it looks like it might be a hard road,
but I'm gonna walk it with you.
And it looks like it might be a long night,
but I ain't going nowhere.
And I know it's gonna be a hard fight,
but I will stay right here. I will shine a light in the darkest hour. I will face the man in the tallest tower. Well, it looks like it might be a long night, but I ain't going nowhere.
I will work, I will fight,
I will strive in the name of love.
I will speak, I will shout,
I will sing to the skies above. Well, it looks like it might be a perilous climb, but I will follow your lead. And I know it might be a long time before the last one of us is free.
but I will hold on tight, stay by your side.
I will be with you for this whole damn ride.
Well, it looks like it might be a perilous climb, but I will follow your lead.
Well, it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you. And I know you might have a heavy load, but I can carry some too.
I will lift you up when they push you down. I will raise my voice and stand my ground. Well, it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you. I'm gonna walk it with you. I'm gonna walk it with you. I will walk, I will climb, shine my light the whole night through, because it looks like it might be a hard road, but I'm gonna walk it with you.
Shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu kish mibchot ha'adama.
Shelo sam halkenu kahen,
v'goralenu chol ha'amonam. V'anachnu korim u'mitachavim u'modim.
Lifnei melech malkei hamalchim.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
And then all that has divided us will merge, and then compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind. And then both men and women will be gentle. And then both women and men will be strong. And then no person will be subject to another's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied.
And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then everywhere will be called Eden once again. Judy, Chicago.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Our thoughts turn now to all of those who have departed, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and our neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives are a blessing to humanity. We mention by name Robert Bernstein, the father of Daphne Cohn and father-in-law to Peretz Cohn and grandfather to Emma and Asher, who was laid to rest this week. As well, we acknowledge the yahrzeits of Molly Beinenfeld, Maddie Brody, Evelyn Lewis Dave, John Fedorenko, Dr. David Goldstein, Rose Kaplan, Mervyn Kelm, Nellie Lepsky, Sophie Levinson, Ben Nalick, Rose Rame, Albert Rosenberg, Gloria Rosenblatt, Sydney Marcus Shockett, Philip Stanley Shapiro, Michael Silverman, Mary Jean Simon, Ralph Simon, George Treehub, Daniel Benjamin Warner, Peggy West, Matthew Howard Wolf, and Louis Zients. Are there additional names to add from the chat?
Harry Klein and Rob C.
Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for blessing as we join together in the words of Mourner's Kaddish, and if it is your custom, you may rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayei chon v'yomei chon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam L'Almei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shmei Dekudusha B'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, B'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mamav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, V'imru Amen. V'imru, V'imru, V'imru Amen. V'imru, 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 amen.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Buffy Skolnick, representing the Board of Trustees this evening. Thanks so much for joining us for services. A big thank you to Lottie Meyerson, Tikkun Olam Committee, for our service tonight. We look forward to your service every year, and even virtually, it was beautiful. A special thank you to our videographer and producer, Marty Gillen, who really helped tonight come together. Mazel tov to Jackson Klibanoff and his parents, Daniel and Kathleen, on Jackson's bar mitzvah coming up tomorrow morning. We're so grateful for your participation in the service tonight, and we invite everyone to join in your Simcha tomorrow at 10 a.m. and the live stream links that brought you here tonight for Jackson service in the morning. Jackson, after many COVID changes to your bar mitzvah date and your preparations, you are finally reaching this awesome weekend. And to commemorate this milestone, you'll be presented tomorrow with a beautiful certificate suitable for framing, signed by Rabbi and Seth, so that you can always remember this special day, as well as a Kiddush cup from Sisterhood, so you can always remember the sweetness of Shabbat, and a Tanakh, so that you may continue your Jewish studies on your own. Your community is so proud of you and this accomplishment, and we're excited to celebrate with you in the morning. We're also thinking of all the families who have loved ones graduating near and far at this season. Mazel tov to you and all your family members at this time. Remember that you are invited to join us for Torah study on Mondays at noon and Bonei Shacharit on Tuesday mornings at 8:15 for chances to engage in Jewish prayer, learning, and healing. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Shabbat Shalom.
I know one thing that we humans know how to destroy. And I know something else, which is that we also know how to build back. And so the tikkun ha'olam, the fixing of the world that we need to do, isn't just about what's been destroyed, putting it back together. It's about how we put it back together. It's about laying down the bitterness, laying down the enmity. It's about building with the intention of making a world of kindness and love. So with that, we conclude our service with those words, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, let us build this world from love.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh, Yadadai. Olam Chesed I will build this world from love. You must build this world from love. And if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Olam Chesed Yibaneh, חסד ייבנה. ידידי, די, די, ידידי, די.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
See you soon.
See you tomorrow morning.